What's up, y'all? It's Dominique, aka That Therapist. For those of you that do not know me, oh my gosh, my shirt is crooked. There. All right. For those of you that do not know me, I'm the lead clinician and CEO for a group practice known as Yellow Bird Counseling. What do we do? Well, all right. So our day-to-day operations look like we provide individual, group, family, couples, adolescent, child, elderly people, therapy, whatever age group, pretty much therapies, so that we can contribute to adding mental health to the mental health crisis that we are in. So, yes, because we're in a mental health crisis. And also, on top of that, we service the states of Alabama, Louisiana, Mississippi, New Jersey, and Idaho now, y'all. Idaho, yes, with more states to come. And so we also do that. We, on Thursdays, every Thursday evening at 8 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is 6 p.m. Pacific, which is 7 p.m. Mountain, which is 9 p.m. Eastern. We go live every Thursday to discuss topics that the general public can relate to and tie it back to how we could all use a therapist. Okay? So that is what we do. And so this month we have been honoring Disability Awareness Month. Yay. And I'm getting all of our awareness months mixed up. Because sometimes there's more than one awareness for 1 month. So, no, that's next month. Okay, so not this month. But this month, we're talking about disability. So we've been bringing awareness to different disabilities and how they can impact your mental health. And also reasons that you may need to seek out therapy or help someone seek out therapy if they are dealing with a disability. So, yes, I'm not doing it alone, of course. And this is so fun. This is so fun because I got one of the new therapists who has a funny story about I just really drug her off the street and was like, hey, you want to work here? Because that is how I get down. It'd be good, though. It don't be like off the street, but it'd be like I go into the street to get it. So without further ado, hey.
Hi, how you doing?
What are you doing?
There's nothing. Sitting here, listening to you. Make a great introduction. Sitting here listening to you make a great introduction. Trying to make sure you can see my flowers in the background.
That's so great. Super cute, super great. Well, tell us who you are. They met you a time before, but
I have, yes. I am Dr. Kwajalein Nicole Brown Murray.
Yes, that's a strong name.
Yes, it is. It's a long name too.
Long and strong.
Yeah. Yes, I am a clinical social worker. And I am the clinician in this practice that works in Idaho.
Yeah.
A weird state. Just why not? It's Idaho. Nice people there.
Why not for?
I don't know. But yeah, I've been in practice, or I've been a social worker for about 15 years now. And I've been a clinical social worker for 10 of those years. And it is Social Work Awareness, Social Work Month. It's Social Work Month this month.
That's what it was. I knew it was some other mental health type social service thing, but I just wasn't sure.
It is. And the theme this year is breaking barriers.
Happy Social Work Awareness Month.
Thank you. We appreciate that. I do. Social workers don't get a lot of credit, you know.
We don't have an awareness month at all.
You don't?
Mm-mm.
Oh, that sucks.
Forget them. I don't
But
care.
you know, counselors probably get more props than social workers maybe sometimes. And people think that I did a TikTok, right? And I told people that social workers are not just baby takers, because we're not. We do all kinds of stuff everywhere. We don't just
yes, y'all are. No, I'm just joking.
Right. We don't wait in the middle of the night so we can snatch your child up. We don't do that. We don't.
That's just on TV. That's what they do on TV.
Right. I get, yeah. There are some of us that work in state agencies that protect children, but we work in hospitals, schools, government offices. We work everywhere.
And you got to be aware.
Yeah.
So thank you for bringing the awareness.
You are welcome.
Air well. Okay.
Yeah, we air well.
Air well. Even here.
Absolutely.
Even here. So yeah, I was like, she was all like, hey, can I call you for a consultation? I'm like, yeah, whatever. I don't really, how much does that cost? I was like, nothing, because I don't really do those. So I don't just want to take advantage of people. So if I don't have a prim and proper format, I'm not going to charge you.
Well, yeah, because it was kind of like that. Because I needed somebody to help me with my private practice, so that's why I called you.
I know, but still,
yeah.
I
called a friend, and when I was just telling you about what I was wanting to do and what my credentials were, and you were like, yeah, you're gonna come work here.
Yeah, I told her she was coming here. I was like, yeah, we'll help you do all that too, but can you come here too? Can you do them both?
I can.
Can you come here and do your own thing? Because that's all I really want. And so she was all like, cool. And we're sorority sisters. What's up?
No sick kitty.
My big sorority. What's up, y'all? What's up?
I just want to say one thing. If anybody's watching, please, no sick kitties. No sick kitties. Please do this.
Our other sorority sister gonna come on. Where you at, girl? Uh-oh. I see her sister.
Look, I can't see anything, so you gotta tell me.
I gotta see. Hold on. Where you at, girl? Tanea, tell your sister to get in here so we can have a sorority kickback online.
You sure can. Yep, cool. It's almost my Zetaversary again too.
That's so cool. Yeah, that's super cool.
I'm excited.
Yay! Okay. She also told me how to lose weight without having to starve myself.
Yeah, it's just called smoothies.
I'm not gonna really do those either. I'm gonna just do walking and drink water and try to fast, do the intermittent fasting, and that's
I don't know. I guess I do intermittent fast and I don't know it. But your first meal of the day is considered breakfast. It's breaking the fast of when you last had something to eat.
Well, that's all I eat is breakfast. I don't eat any other meals.
Well, that must be a real good breakfast then. I don't want to
I eat it like at night.
Oh, cool.
Mm-hmm.
You can eat it whenever.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I eat it at night, so I'll try to, do it because I know my body responds to fasting. So
yeah,
it is.
My body responds to just drink these juices and berries. That's what I'm doing.
I'm not gonna just do juice and berries. I will pull my hair out. It will not be good. So you're gonna talk to us about. This is a great way to close out the Disability Awareness Month.
I think so. Yeah.
Because you're gonna close it all in for us. You're gonna give us some information that we need about disability rights and the function of government intervention with disabilities and PTSD and So let's do it.
Okay. Well, we're supposed to be talking about disabilities like PTSD today, right? And what PTSD is.
And you said the ADA, DHHS.
Americans with Disabilities Act, which is very important for people to know, especially if they have a disability. That disability can be visible or invisible. For instance, I'll share, I'm a lupus patient, and lupus is considered a disability. So there you have it. And you wouldn't even know that if I hadn't told you. So disabilities can be invisible. You don't have to see them. And PTSD is one that is considered a disability. It is, a lot of people feel like PTSD only happens to veterans because they're in combat and maybe they see a lot of death and destruction. But that can also be a situation where there's a police officer, or when 9/11 happened, that was a long time ago. I was a senior in high school. God, I just told my age. I just told my age.
You're still young.
I am. I have a birthday coming up Sunday.
Oh, really?
I do. I'll be 40.
What are we doing?
I'll be 40.
Where are we? Is there a party?
There is. I will text you about it.
Yes. Cool.
Yes.
I want to come.
Yeah, come on.
Yeah, I'm coming.
We're kicking back.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Thank you. Well, I'm excited too. That'll be some good.
I'm not a good gift giver, so I'll just probably bring you some cash or a gift card.
My mama always says cash is the best gift to give.
That's all I know how to do.
Cash. That's okay. So PTSD is a mental health or behavioral health disorder. It's because somebody was exposed to trauma. And I mentioned 9/11 because what happened, we had to, if you remember it, I do. They showed video of it happening and the planes going into the buildings over and over and over again.
In school.
Right. We were in school and we were watching it. And so it does not have to necessarily be something that you experience firsthand. It could be something that you experience secondhand, something that you saw. So it could be, a sexual assault or domestic violence. It could be seeing someone shot. It could be seeing someone complete suicide. Those things can cause PTSD. And it is a mental health disorder that brings about anxiety and depression in those who suffer from it. And therapy is a good way to deal with PTSD. Usually the best case practice is for therapy plus medication in some people's situations. Just all depends on how severe it is. PTSD is considered an adverse, one of the ACEs. So it is an adverse, adverse childhood experience. So those children who maybe have been separated from their families or abused, neglected, that would be considered an adverse childhood experience. And then that connects to that child, that adolescent, that young adult having PTSD. And it looks like flashbacks. It looks like anxiety. It looks like, it feels like you're having a heart attack.
Yep.
People go to the emergency room and swear that they're having a heart attack, or swear that, they can't breathe. They're really having a panic attack.
Yep.
Because maybe they're reliving that situation over again, or there is a smell, a sight, something they hear that triggers that fight or flight response within them, or a fear within them. And then they go into a spiral.
Yep. Yep. It's a real thing. Somebody asked a good question. They said, can you explain the difference between CPTSD and PTSD for folks. Yeah, we can. That's what we're here for.
What was the question? CPS?
CPTSD. RESPCT. Find out what it means.
Okay, well, you go ahead.
Okay, so sure. So CPTSD is complex PTSD, which the difference between that and PTSD is usually PTSD is the isolated event, one event, whereas CPTSD happens a traumatic events over time or multiple times, and it becomes complex. So it's a frequency thing.
It is. So you can think about that like a young lady or a young man who has been molested as a child for several years and probably becomes a young adult and gets into a relationship that is not healthy, and then they end up in a domestic violence situation. That's what that looks like. It's a compounding situation that happens over time.
And a lot of those ACEs, those scores are different. Like, did you witness domestic violence with somebody in the home mentally ill, or a substance abuser? Like those are just some experience that could be complex PTSD because they happen like over days and weeks or many times, you know?
I do.
And so that's a lot of people deal with complex PTSD, but because the stuff happened so young and it was so normal because that's how their normal everyday life was, they don't even recognize it as trauma.
Right. You may see people that dissociate from their feelings. And what that looks like is people who you feel like are heartless and careless. And, you know, they, I was about to say something inappropriate.
What's inappropriate? I want to know.
They give a damn is broken.
That's not inappropriate.
They give a damn is broken. And you find it hard to connect with that person because you could feel like they're not, their feelings are not there. Well, what happens, especially with patients that have experienced sexual trauma, is they will disconnect their mind from their body so that they can survive.
Yep. So when you're little kids, usually with little kids, they learn how to do that, like separate reality from and jump into somewhere else that's more safe for them. And so it just develops. This is a good question. So today it said, I found my father, trigger warning, so everybody will know.
Okay.
But I found my father laying on the floor deceased. Now if I can't reach my children or siblings, I go into panic mode. Would that be considered PTSD?
Absolutely. Yes, ma'am. That would be. I'm very sorry that happened to you. I'm very sorry. I myself have had this weird feeling that if I go into a bathroom, there's going to be a dead body there. And I got that from television. Do you remember like seeing like a fight scene or something like that? And they're like kicking people into the stalls and shooting people in the head. I don't know why I have that thought, but it happens. And I'm so sorry that happened to you tonight. I'm very sorry.
Yeah, definitely. You know, and two, if we wanted to talk, that is traumatic, and I don't care what the DSM says about the time frame, but that's because that's traumatic. So even if it happened yesterday, that's traumatic, and it's PTSD because that, you know, because it, you know, that's a lot for a person. So
it's complex too because it's grief. You can't put a number or a timeline on grief.
So, you know, we do use DSM, and Dr. Soror Nicole knows the DSM, but
it is my second Bible.
That's not all we're gonna go by, because there is more to a human being than that DSM.
Absolutely. And that's what we learned in my MSW program. We did learn.
Mm.
There is a thing, I want to throw this out here. There is a thing called post-traumatic slave disorder.
Mm-hmm.
This correctly, by Dr. DeGruy.
Joy DeGruy.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Did excellent work in connecting slave mentality to African American behavior today. For instance, have you ever been to a church and seen an older lady put her hand up while she walks out of the church? You always wonder why she got that finger up. Well, I call it the slave finger, because basically their slaves were putting their finger up, letting the masters know that they were coming back and that they were being counted. Put your finger up, I count you. And it was signified that that person was leaving but will be back. Because
I always thought it meant, excuse me.
Okay, excuse me, I'll be right back. Please don't come after me. She also talked about, I'm trying to give another good example. Okay, where, oh man, Black mothers back in the day during slavery, if somebody would say something nice about their child, that the mother would say, "Oh no, you don't want him. He's lazy and he don't do anything.
Mm-hmm.
That boy, I don't know what's wrong with him. He can't get right." And it translates into today, because you would hear some parents do that as well. Well, the mentality before was that if a slave master saw a African American or an African who was doing great work and looked like they were very strong and able to, perform very well, they would say something to their mother to signify that they would want to sell that particular child or take that particular child. So, and to protect the child, the mother would talk down on the child and say the child wasn't any good because she wanted to keep her family together.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see some of the slave mentality today, because sometimes people will compliment someone's child, and instead of taking the compliment, they will say, "Oh, well, he's still bad," or he all right, but he can have these little things about him and stuff like that. And the child's looking like, what did I do wrong?
Why are you always talking down on me like that?
You're always talking negative to me. But that's what it is, generational. It's been learned from generation to generation.
And you don't even know why you do it. Because I do the church finger, or like, I don't have no kid, but when people be saying nice stuff about Mr. Carter, that's my son.
Uh-huh.
I'll be like, he's so bad. He's so spoiled. And he's so terrible. And it's like literally, it's like an innate, like an innate thing to do. Like, it's like an automatic thing. Like, when you sneeze, you say bless you, even though people were taught that. But it's like even more innate than that. Like, oh no, like no. Because I don't know if I even really saw my direct parents do that, but I had seen it, and like, I'm like, yeah, no, that's DNA. That's
trauma is passed down. Trauma is passed down through generations of people. And there are people that are
inherited and genetic.
Absolutely. There are people that are afraid of things and they don't even know why.
Like dogs in water.
Uh-huh. And for example, if you see somebody running, I'm running too. If I see somebody running, I'm running too. I don't even know why we're running, but we're running.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yep. For some stupid reason, but we running.
We running. And then when we get to safety, everybody turns around and goes, why are we running? Why are we running? But it's
right.
It's ingrained in DNA to fight or flight, flee.
Yep. Yep. Mm-hmm. It is. So yeah. So like, and me and Dr. Nicole both, we do trauma therapy.
We do.
That's like super duper cool.
It's cool and intricate. It very much is.
It's not traditional.
It's not traditional. But what I would say is you get out of therapy what you put in it.
Mm-hmm.
So, there are a lot of things that have happened to people that are traumatic that they don't want to talk about, and I get it. But if you want to heal from that trauma, you have to call a thing a thing. Now, that came from Dr. Iyanla Van Zant. Call a thing a thing.
Is she even like, anyway?
Yeah, she did. That's what she was saying, and it's actually true.
Is she a doctor of what?
A Juris Doctorate.
Oh, no,
She's an attorney.
Lord Jesus, have mercy.
Yeah,
Everybody get to work outside of their scope, but us.
Hey,
everybody else
gets advisor. She wrote a lot of books. She wrote a lot of books to advise you spiritually.
That's what she should do.
Yeah. Yeah. But you have to call a thing a thing. And I know that it will be, if you do EMDR or any kind of trauma focused CBT or DBT, it's going to be uncomfortable. But you have to get comfortable with being uncomfortable in order to heal.
Mm-hmm.
For instance, if a child was sexually abused, or if an adult was abused as a child, usually they are more protective of their children. They won't allow them to go play with kids that they don't know. They won't allow them to go spend the night. They're very strict with their children. And that's a kind of a trauma response. They're trying to protect their children from what they experienced.
Yep.
And yeah.
This is a good question.
Okay.
What do you recommend if you can't afford the specific trauma therapy? Well, okay. Well, if you happen to see one of our interns, then you can just tell the interns to tell us that you're interested, and then we'll help the interns set it up. And then maybe like me or Tiffany or Dr. Nicole or Kristen will do a favor and come in a session and actually carry out the session.
Yeah,
I've done it for my interns out. Like, there's steps to it. There's some steps I'll have them do, and then when it gets to the more technical stuff, then I'll come in and do the rest and do it. And that's all I do. Or I have some clients that the interns see for their regular sessions, and then their clients just see me for their trauma, and that's all they pay for. And so they're not paying for everything. They just pay for that with their insurance if we take it. So yeah,
I'm following the leader on that. So when I get some interns, I would do that as well.
Mm-hmm.
Thank you. But to be practical about what you're talking about, if you can't afford the specific trauma therapy, I call it an eat, pray, love. You really have to be honest with yourself, and you're going to have to sit with yourself and tell yourself the truth. And sometimes you have to parent the child within you, whatever that trauma was. And I would suggest journaling. That's something you can do that costs you nothing. If you are into prayer, you could try that. If you're into meditation, you can try that.
I love all of them.
Those are some good ones to use. If you're not able to afford the therapy, but you may be surprised because you may be able to afford the therapy.
Yeah, people think they can't afford it because historically therapy has been kind of like a luxury. And so like something you just do for counseling, not even necessarily therapy, like for mental illness or a trauma, just like a thing that frou-frou white rich people did. No, like therapy is a procedure just like going to the dentist, going to the primary care, going to the OBGYN. It's a procedure. And so oftentimes your insurance covers it more often than not. We do have private pay, but a majority of the people that we see use their insurance. So
use your insurance.
Checking in on that.
Yeah.
Cool. So tell us more about like translating into rights of disabled people. Tell us
Disabled
like
people have all kinds of rights.
tell us about
You
it.
have the right to party and you have the right to cry if you want to. You have a lot of rights. The Americans with Disability Act, it's a shame that they had to make that a thing. But it talks about how the federal government has certain protections for those who have disabilities. One of those things is oh dang, it just left my mind. Using parking spaces and having handicap, I call it handicapable tags. I have one. Sometimes I need it. It looks like if you're in college and you have a special need or a mental health need, your college has to accommodate you. And there is an office in every college, office of disabilities, that you can talk to that person and be able to be provided with a 504 plan if you are if you are in college. If you're a child and you're in high school, you can have a 504 plan too. Doesn't necessarily need an IEP for that. Basically, what that does is it spells out what your disability is, whether it's visible or invisible. Right now, we're talking about mental health and what you need to be comfortable and feel safe in the environment.
Yeah.
And they have to accommodate you.
Yep.
There's for moms that go out on maternity leave, if we want to talk about that, that is covered under the Americans with Disabilities Act. Maternity leave and paternity leave. And if you have a help me out, Dominique. If you have a illness and you work for a company, you have rights. They have to accommodate you there at your job as well. So say, for instance, you needed the chairs that they had were straight back. And what you need is a chair that rolls and that accommodates your back because you have back problems. You provide them with your information and they are supposed to accommodate you there at your job. They're supposed to make their buildings to accommodate those with wheelchairs. They're supposed to accommodate those who are, I don't know if I'm using the correct term right now, little people. What's the correct term? Like, correct me if I'm wrong. But they're supposed to accommodate them as well.
I think it is little people. I think it is. It doesn't feel like that's right, but I honestly think that it is because when I heard the appropriate term, it didn't feel right. So I think little people.
Okay, that sounds good.
I don't think it's the other ones.
You can, the FMLA, that's what I want to talk about. People need to know about FMLA. What that basically says is if you have a disability or you're having surgery, or in my instance, because I have I'm a lupus patient, sometimes I'm down, and down meaning I have a flare, and I may not be able to perform the duties of my job. What you need to do is talk with your doctor, get your doctor to fill out the FMLA paperwork. If you have a son or daughter that has ADHD or has severe allergies or anything of that nature, you can still use your FMLA leave. So basically, sometimes kids get sick. You'll get sick. Your significant other may have a issue. You file your FMLA with your employer, and they give you 12 weeks of accommodation. I think it's 12. Yeah, it's 12 weeks of accommodation. And you can use that all together, or you can use that in parts and pieces throughout the year. Basically, what FMLA does is protect you from being fired from your job because you are taking care of your physical being or your mental health. And what they have to do is, if they give someone else your job, they still have to allow you to come back to your place of employment and provide you with a
Something equal.
Yeah, something equal. So I was going to say like a job that's equal to what you were doing before.
Yep.
And the pay, they cannot decrease your pay.
Yep. I had to go at intermittent FMLA. When I worked at the hospital, I had to go on intermittent FMLA for mental health. Yep. So because I was having a major depressive episode, and so I had to get it, and it was intermittent. It was just whenever I needed it, and they wrote them in, like you said, like a period of time, and then if you had to get it renewed or whatever. But like
it renews every year. Now, one thing I need to tell people now. Remember, well, if I didn't say remember, but you can only get FMLA when you have been at your job for more than 1 year. So if something happens in that 6-month period, you can't get the FMLA. You'll have to take the penalty, if you want to call it a penalty of taking PTO, sick pay, or leave without pay. But once that 1 year mark occurs, you can turn in your FMLA paperwork, and your employer has to accommodate you. Now, that does not include if you have a physical disability. They have to accommodate you when you're in the job, right? And then, if you have a physical handicap or something of that nature, they have to accommodate you right then. If you have carpal tunnel and you can't use this mouse, you have to use a mouse that's more accommodating to your hand. Your employer has to provide you with that.
Yep. All that. All that. So what about the because I was gonna ask you about FMLA too. So I was like,
I know a lot about FMLA. Ask me anything.
Yeah.
I know a lot about it.
If y'all got questions. Oh yeah, let's look at some questions. Somebody had some. Okay. Somebody said, what's an example of a good, what would a journal entry look like? Because you was mentioning journaling for the trauma.
You are basically putting your thoughts on the paper. There is no prompt, especially with trauma. When you work with someone that's trauma certified or trauma educated, like we are, we would provide you with a gentle prompt. We don't start with the big bang. We step you up into that. So basically, one of them would be, you could just journal what gave you anxiety today, or what triggered your PTSD today, right? You could journal about that. And then the more intense stuff, you would need a professional like us to help with, because then we would be there to help you through the physical and mental reactions that occur when you talk about your traumatic event. Yeah. You definitely want a mental health professional with you there. Now, I want to also say something that, people sometimes think they can pray it away, or that Jesus will fix it. He fixes a lot of things, but he made counselors and social workers to help you.
We're the hands and feet.
Let us help you. Okay. Big Mama may know a lot of things, but Big Mama don't know everything. I have gone to school for 8 years.
So long. Oh my gosh.
8 years. And I learned about human behavior. That's what social workers learn about. That's what counselors learn about. We learn about human behavior. We learn about the why, the when, the where. And then we learn how to help people go through the hard times in their life. So I know a lot of church folks are not so they don't really do therapy, and a lot of African Americans don't do therapy. There are some other cultures that will not do therapy, because in our culture, Jesus fixes everything. You just pray about it. But Jesus made doctors, counselors,
and counselors
and social workers to help you. Big Mama can still help you. She can help you make a pound cake. Now, don't get me wrong now.
Right. And
The
then
Big Mama,
probably slap that pound cake.
right, but she cannot help you through PTSD. So she probably has some PTSD of her own, and that trauma has passed from Big Mama to
Your mama,
to your mama, and then to you. And so
to your babies.
Right. So what we want to do is break generational curses. We want to help people get past or get to it. You may not get past it, but we want to make sure that when you're faced with it, that you can handle it.
Yep. Mm-hmm. Ooh, Nikki said, how do you deal with bad dreams from trauma? That's a good question.
That's a loaded question. There are some people that work with dreams. There are some alternative therapies that can happen. How can you deal with bad dreams from trauma?
I usually with my clients, because I'm EMDR trained, which is the trauma therapy that we do, but we can use their dream as a target. Mm-hmm. Because in a lot of ways, your dream, that REM sleep that you're in, is your brain trying to do its own EMDR on itself, and it can't. So, because trauma is fragmented memories, and so your dreams like are in a loop or only a piece of it, so it can't be fully processed without help. So, but a cognitive behavioral technique for that is definitely try if it's like a reoccurring bad dream, you could try writing it down.
Just about to say that. Write it down.
Mm-hmm. Try write it down. See how it. Again, I would not in none of this, because if it's trauma, I would not try to just break off and do this on your own. I definitely would say do it under the care of a therapist so that you can process it, because trauma is not just, something that, it causes injury. It causes real debilitating injuries. So we don't want you just out here just trying to do it all on your own. There are some light things, like some light, but definitely you want to at least have a therapist you can go to help you process that stuff. Mm-hmm. Because once you open a trauma wound, you need some guidance. Yeah, you need guidance with that healing. So we not just y'all talk. What's talking to somebody gonna help me do? That ain't all we do. We use verbal communication just like you do at the PCP to explain things. But no, there is technicality to this. This is not just sitting down and us taking notes of what you talking about. This ain't that. That's TV.
I will say that dreams, your brain will protect you from trauma. Mm-hmm. Your brain will disassociate itself. Like if it's overloaded with information or trauma, your brain will dissociate itself to protect you from trauma. Mm-hmm. And so that's where people come up later and realize things happened, or that's where those dreams come from. Your brain will literally shut itself down, just like your body will if you don't take care of it. If you don't get enough sleep, if you don't take care of yourself, if you have diabetes, your brain, your body will shut down.
Yeah.
And that's what happens with trauma. Sometimes your brain shuts down and it will put calcify that particular moment in time. And it will protect you from feeling that.
Yep.
From identifying that. And when you go to sleep and you're like, what the heck just happened? If you can remember it, write it down.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah. So, and two, there's some other components, there's like, for more sciencey people, they're like, oh, it's just random firing of neurotransmitters and there's nothing spiritual about it. I don't totally agree with that. I half believe it, and the other half I think is spiritual, because Punky Brewster said she had the same bad dream since she was a kid, and now her daughter's having the exact same bad dream. Now, that's just more than it being random. You know, that ain't just random firing of neurons. That's you. If you and your daughter are having the same dream, and it's about maybe, and you hadn't told her, if that's what I'm assuming you're saying, you hadn't told her about it. There's no way she could have known about the dream, but she's having it. That's more than just random.
Yeah. Sometimes people mention things that they don't remember that they did.
Mm-hmm.
And sometimes you can pass on trauma that happened to you to your children.
Mm-hmm.
Say, for instance, being overprotective, especially if you've had a sexual abuse situation or you've had a domestic violence situation.
Mm-hmm.
You would probably be more prone to protecting your child and being more authoritative with that child. And you may say, no, you can't do that. There are bad people out there. They'll take you away from me.
Mm-hmm.
And that will trigger something in that child.
Mm-hmm.
They don't want to be taken away from their parent. So I read in there, like, it feels like it's dredging up old memories. Honestly, it is.
Mm-hmm.
You're talking about old memories. But what you want to understand is your old memories follow you as an old person.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
And the purpose of therapy is to help you process through those things so that you don't pass that on to your children or your grandchildren, and that you can heal your mind and body and your heart.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All that what she said.
And yes, it does make your memory spotty. Yes, it does. If your brain disassociates from things, you will literally have a memory about this, no memory about that, and a memory about this.
Mm-hmm. That's what I was talking about, that fragmentation, because your brain is also working in survival mode when you're in that trauma state. So things ain't working like normal.
Right.
Normal.
Well, what is normal, right? Yeah.
Quotation marks. It's
Yeah.
quotation marks.
What is normal?
So yeah. So tell us about the long one, the long letters.
The long letters? What's the long letters?
The DHHS.
Department of Health and Human Services.
Oh yeah. That's what it's called. Yep.
Yeah, the Department of Health and Human Services oversees a lot of mental health projects. They provide funding to a lot of mental health professionals and to the states to provide community-based mental health. That would be like, no, it's not like a Bradford. Bradford is privately owned. It would be like
Bryce.
Chilton Shelby mental health or something like that. Yeah, it'd be something like that.
We call it DHR, but they do call it DHHS in some other states.
But they have an umbrella. Health and Human Services is an umbrella for education. It does have some components of education, and it has components of all the components of mental health. There is no National Department of Mental Health. It's under Department of Health and Human Services. So yeah, that would be DHR and your community mental health. They're all under the same umbrella, Department of Health and Human Services, which they also talk to you about making sure that you get your FMLA in too. So they will talk to you about that. They let you know how you can get it done. And then the laws are there as well on the Department of Health and Human Services about FMLA, and a lot of other laws that have been enacted to help protect people with mental health issues.
Yep. All that. And what? And vocational rehab.
Voc rehab. CRS. We do have CRS here in Tuscaloosa. They're everywhere. Yep. They help children. So CRS does not help adults. The next Then closest for adults would be, well, no, they have ADRS, but they usually assist with pervasive disabilities. So like when you're quadriplegics or people with Down syndrome, adults with Down syndrome, adults with autism, things like that. But they can help you with your mental health. And you have to call them, and then they'll assess and let you know what you qualify for, or if you do not qualify at all. There's one in every county.
So tell us a little bit about what you know about the like disability, like if people had to go on disability and like how that process is.
Oh, it's a whole crapshoot. Okay, so it is a crapshoot. If your doctor has deemed you disabled, right? So I'll use myself as an example. I'm a lupus patient. Lupus affects every organ in my body. I've had my kidney shut down before. I've been deaf and I've been blind before. I sign and I read Braille. I had to learn. And I only say that because if at that time my doctor had deemed me unable to perform the duties of the job that I had, and unable to perform the duties for any job. So say for instance, you couldn't even do Walmart greeter, and because you have PTSD or you're schizophrenic or you're bipolar. What happens is there's a 2-year waiting period. You basically file your paperwork. Usually most times they deny it, right? They send it back and you have to reapply. And during that time, you cannot be working. Because basically what they're going to say is, thought you said you were disabled. You disabled while you working. And I understand this. This is crazy because you have to live. We got to live. And what they're telling you is there's a 2-year waiting period. In between that 2 years, you cannot work, because if you have income, then you are not eligible for disability. And they will have their own doctors check you out. They will ask you for all your medical records. They're going to basically, and this is the weird part that I'm going to share. Usually the people that are looking at your disability claim are not physicians. They're not doctors. So I see a rheumatologist for my condition. A rheumatologist will not be evaluating my petition for Social Security. It will literally be somebody. It will literally be somebody that maybe has a background in health education or business, or it's not going to be a doctor. Let me just say that.
Not a qualified professional to say if this is debilitation or not.
Nope, will not. And then you will be seeing a judge. You'll go before a judge. Once you appeal, you'll go before a judge, and then you get to talk with the judge about why you feel you need to go on disability. Some people hire a lawyer to do that and help them navigate that process. It is a very long process. And once you receive Social Security, I would be very careful, because some people decide, oh, well, I'm not making enough with my Social Security, so I'm going to go get a job at Walmart. I'm going to go get a job at a convenience store. Let me tell you something. Once your Social Security number hits the IRS, Department of Health and Human Services, where Social Security is under the umbrella of, you got problems. Because if you make more money than your Social Security, they're going to cut it off. Even $1. If you make a penny more, they will cut you off.
Because they don't want to give nobody no money for real.
They don't want to give you the money. And then they make you spend down. You can't just keep it. You got to spend down. Right? And if you have small children, your small children will be eligible for Social Security as well. But if you decide, oh, well, this $1,500 a month ain't doing it, we can't live on this. I've heard that a lot.
Sometimes $700.
$700. That's what they'll give you. Some people qualify for SNAP benefits, but you do not have insurance during the first 2 years after you receive Social Security. See, nobody's gonna tell you that. You see, social worker will tell you that. See, we are very knowledgeable.
See now?
Stuff. We be knowing stuff.
This is a perfect time to do the everything.
Yep.
So
come talk to your girl now. Come talk to your girl. Okay, so during that 2-year wait period, you do not have insurance, right? That's crazy because you waited 2 years to get your Social Security. Now you have your Social Security and you don't have any insurance. What happens is during that 2-year waiting period, you will roll over to Medicare. And then you are eligible for Medicare Part A, B, and C, and D, right? And it will be managed by a larger health company like a United Healthcare or a Blue Cross Blue Shield or an Aetna. You don't get to choose that. You don't. They choose your primary care physician at that point. You can ask for another primary care physician. I think now they're more laxed on that because they got a lot of pushback from people who really like their original doctor. But you will wait that period, that 2-year period, to get Medicare. And as I said, if you go out and you decide you want to work at Walmart or you want to work at Buc-ee's. Buc-ee's is pretty cool. I want to take them.
Would be fun.
Can we take a field trip to Buc-ee's?
They got food there. One of my clients said they got showers there.
They do. They have
we can stay at Buc-ee's all day.
Let's go to Buc-ee's.
All day long. We can wake up and just go to Buc-ee's.
Yeah, we're just gonna go to Buc-ee's. Yeah, that's what we're gonna do. We're gonna go get a brisket sandwich, some coffee, and some. Yeah.
I can't eat the brisket, but I know they probably got something else that I can.
So, can you get disability accommodations without applying for disability? At your job, yes.
Like long and short term.
Yeah, long and short term disability. Your job probably offers that. I was thinking more about accommodations. In schools, they have to make accommodations for children. They have to. Either they're going to get an IEP or a 504 plan.
And that's what Angel was telling y'all about ADAP. For if you need that help in the schools for your kids, if your kids are having some sort of learning disabilities or mental health impairments or something that affects them in that environment, you do have the ADAP as your advocate.
Yes, children in schools and things. They are bulldogs. So if you have a problem with the schools, call them. They are. Danielle affirmed and agreed with me. She said she worked overtime for a couple of weeks to pay for car repairs, and they cut her son's SSI down. Yes, ma'am, they will. I'm telling you, you have to be careful. And they will check your bank account, and you won't even know it. And you will get a letter that says, "Hey, you have $5,000 in your account. You can't have it. You need to spend down." And spend down means buy something. And if you don't, they will take it back. You don't have they won't let you know, honey. They know what your bank account number is, and they will take that money back. Because what you're saying is you don't need that money. You're saving that money. And I get it, y'all. We're saving it for a rainy day. That's what we're supposed to do, right? But the government says, well, if you got money to save and you're not buying stuff, you're not disabled.
You got to be broke if you're disabled, basically, is what the government thinks. Isn't that cruel and unusual?
Yep.
It's cruel. That it's not, if you need accommodations at your job, that doesn't necessarily mean you have to apply for disability. That's your choice. That's outside of work. That's separate.
Yeah, it is separate. And like I said earlier, if you have a physical disability, that you have made your job aware of, they have to accommodate you.
Mm-hmm.
They
And
do
let you
not,
work.
they are not in compliance with ADA.
Mm-hmm.
They are not in compliance. So like I use the example of a mouse or a chair. Or if it was hard for you to walk up the stairs, but they had no ramp, they have to get a ramp. They have
Yep.
to. There's no
I haven't ever really read the whole American Disability Act.
Oh, it's long.
Yeah, it's real long. So, but it includes all that. Places really do have to be careful. If it even looks like you're not trying to allow someone with a disability to work, if if the task, is something that they can do. So, yeah.
Yes. Nikki asked the question about if a child has an IEP for learning disability, are they eligible for disability? The answer is, depending on what that disability is, yes, ma'am, they are. Children with autism are under that umbrella, and they can receive SSI or SSD. There is a difference between SSI and SSD, y'all. Like, I hope they know that, but maybe
this is just social workers telling you what to do. Ooh, and let's see. Candace is in here. Candace, aren't you a social worker too, Candace? And Candace is our sorority sister.
So SSI is based on your age and disability and limited income resources. So that's why I said, if you working and you making money, they're not gonna give you nothing.
Yep.
And your work credits. So how long have you been working? Have you been working for 20 years? Have you been working? Like, literally what they're looking for is how long. When you say you've been working, like, I've been working since I was 15. It does not matter if they didn't take taxes out. That's what they're talking about. How long have you been paying taxes? That's what they want to know. And if you did not, or you got paid under the table, so SSDI is for people who it's an add-on to the SSI. So for someone who has their loved one you're drawing from your loved one. That's basically it.
So then that's probably where the $1,500 checks come. And the $700 is like the one by itself, maybe. I don't know.
They base that on how long you worked, what your disability is, and how much you put into the Social Security program. Which, by the way, some lawmakers want to get rid of Social Security, all of it.
They just hate us. The lawmen hate us. They all do. Y'all cannot trust them. They don't like us.
Please pay attention and please vote.
Please, because they do not like us. And read. If you're not sure, ask somebody to explain to you where to find information for candidates. There's lots of politicians and people that are really in. If you're not sure, because you want to get as much information as you can, because they don't like us up there. They don't, and they're trying to take away all our rights and turn us back into the Handmaid's Tale.
Right. Punky Brewster is asking about if you have a diagnosis and get accommodation. Can you say you can say you have this diagnosis and get accommodations without applying? No, if you're going to apply for Social Security, you have to apply. If you're talking about you have like anxiety disorder or major depressive disorder and you're working at your job, that will fall under FMLA.
Yep. FMLA for a job.
Or EAP. You can use your EAP. But there you would have to be specific about how they would need to accommodate you with your mental health disorder.
But they do that. We have a lot of people that use their EAPs to pay for their therapy
sessions. Yeah.
Yeah, they have their give you a certain amount, and then after that, your insurance can kick in. But they give you like a certain amount of sessions. I've seen like 6, I've seen 12, 3, 7. Those are some numbers I've seen.
For the amount of EAP sessions that you can get. And actually you get EAP sessions are based on what the situation is. So you get, I'm just making an example. You could have a marital problem and they'll give you 5 sessions for that. Then you can have a major depressive issue and they will give you 12 EAPs for that. So each individual situation that you have counts as something separate with EAP.
So you better stack them and rack them. Be like, I got depression. I'm like, tell the truth, y'all. Because I know it's a lot. It's a lot of folks that should have their sessions covered for the year because they got this thing and that thing and that thing and that thing and that thing.
Yeah.
All separate things.
If your child has an IEP, does that count as a disability? No. It would depend on what that disability is. I did mention autism because autism is a protected DSM diagnosis, and it is protected under Department of Health and Human Services. There were a lot of lobbyists and a lot of moms that really did good work to lobby for children with autism and their caretaker.
The EAP is an employee assistance program.
Yeah.
And yeah, we're just throwing around all these letters. So EAP is employee assistance program. IEP is individual education plan.
Those happen in school.
Those are school. FMLA is the Family Medical Leave Act.
Right.
So sorry, we're saying all these things. We should do a PowerPoint. It's cool though.
I was thinking about it. Do you know of a program that I can get help with medication if I lose? Yes, I do.
Yes, she's a social worker, and that's why I love social workers.
Yes, I do. Listen, I've really been. Can I talk about my business here too?
Yes, I'm not a weirdo.
Okay, so I am the principal therapist at Compass Rose Behavioral Health. And I am a proud contractor with Yellowbird. I like that, Yellowbird. That was real snazzy. But anyway, what I'm saying is, if I work with you, I can help you with that, with finding medications. You know, they have, I'll give you a couple of things. Good RX. Please use that. Because some people try to get their medications all at one spot, right? But sometimes other places have better deals. So you might have to get your blood pressure medication from over here because it may be free. And you may have to get your cholesterol medicine over here.
Yeah.
But, it may be a little runaround, but it will save you money. And I've actually saved I'll use myself as an example. My son needed medication. It was $800. And I said, who better pay that? Who paying that? I'm not paying that. I looked at Good RX. It made it come down a little more. I found a discount card for the medication that he needed, made it come down a little more. And then I called the manufacturer of the medication. See, that's what you get when you get a social worker. And I got that down to $2.32.
Extreme couponing.
Yes, extreme couponing.
Still ask them, because you may be surprised sometimes, not all the time, but sometimes just ask them how much it is to pay without insurance, just to see.
Just to see.
And see what it is. And because I know I take Lexapro, and without insurance at Walmart, for me it's $30, but if I go to Brookwood Hospital and get it, it's $8.
Yep. Y'all, please look, Walmart, CVS, all the major places. Go to their website, please, because they have medications that they dispense for free or at a reduced cost.
See there, social worker. I
Yes,
love
they
it.
do.
I love my
They
social worker.
do, but nobody tells you that, right? So you've been paying for your blood pressure medication, your triamterene or your lisinopril. You've been paying for it, and it's about $20. But if you go over to Publix, you get a 90-day supply for $12.
Yep. Somebody said the mom and pops have better prices than the big. Yep, they sure do.
Sometimes
if you go,
and don't count out compound pharmacies. There's one in down 280 called, is it Red Oak Mountain? I always get it wrong. I always get the name of that wrong. But a compounding pharmacy literally will hand make your medication for you.
Can you tell them like you want it to look like?
You can tell them what you want it to taste like too.
I'm going.
My little one does not like sweets. He doesn't. He don't like it. There's medication that he has to take because he has severe allergies. And the regular way, they just give you a pill. Well, he didn't do well with the pill. He didn't like the taste because usually kids get like what, bubble gum, cherry, grape. Ugh. So anyway, I had to send to a compounding pharmacy, and it tastes like pickles. And he took the medicine. They can make it like whatever you want
to. Maybe that would help people do, because that is the thing. It's like averse the pill, the pill itself, or the medication that's so nasty. I'm going there and be like, hey, can y'all make that taste like Diet Dr. Pepper?
Let me tell you something. You better start knowing your pharmacists, because they can take the bitter out of any liquid medication that you have, or they can change the flavor. Come on now. Social work at work. Come on, y'all. I'm at work.
Social work is amazing. Social work is amazing. All right.
Okay. So we have present autism mom here. It's a rough time. Yes, it is rough with that. You better spend down, girl. Danielle, girl, spend it down.
Spend it on down. Spend it down. Spend it down. Hey.
Because they are looking at everything that you're buying or that you're not buying. So spend it down. ABA therapy, that should be covered under his Medicare. Spend down for all the other things that he needs. Do you know of a program that I can get help with Medicare due to income limits? Yes, I do know a program. Yeah, yes, I can.
She knows all the programs, y'all.
I know the programs.
She do.
No more.
I'm gonna let them so they can make an appointment, because folks may need to make an appointment. So this is what y'all do if y'all want to make an appointment and get your social work on, and mental health, social work and mental health. You know what I'm saying? Y'all can do that.
You can do
just text the word "new" to this number, and we can get you all straight away. Yep. We can get you straight. We can get you straight. How many clients you have right now?
About 20.
I didn't know you had 20.
About 20, but that's okay. You can also reach me at Compass Rose. It's 205-246-0671.
Either way,
you can reach me there too.
Whichever.
I will work with you however I can.
Yes.
You said, can you get your jobs are supposed to provide you with PTO, sick days, and Alabama is an at-will state, so they can fire you for wearing the color blue, and they don't have to have a reason for it. I'm sorry. But can you get paid for it? Yes, if you take a sick day. There are some companies that give you mental health days now, and then or a floating holiday, but you have to know what your particular employer provides, and then you have to take that. Let's see. What's an EAP? Okay, we already said that.
It was somebody that do you know anything about the Adderall shortage?
Yes, I do. Let me tell you something. There's a shortage on Adderall, Klonopin, EpiPens,
Ooh, no.
and there's one I'm missing.
That ain't good.
Diabetes medication. So your Ozempics, your metformins, they got plenty of metformin, so y'all can have the metformin. You can have the metformin. But yes, there is an Adderall shortage. They're not just lying to you and telling you you can't have it. There's an actual shortage of it.
Yep.
Yeah.
And a lot of y'all, you know what? A lot of y'all that's already at Yellowbird, more than likely your therapist is a social worker. So ask them too. Cause they just came up in here and they said, "We're about to run your set," and I was like, "Okay, y'all come on in."
No.
And so they all up and through here. We got so many social workers at Yellowbird, and they do therapy and they can give you resources.
I'm gonna put this out here. Now, nobody did my 2 cents, but I'm telling you what I know. If social workers are social workers, but be careful because you can't call yourself a social worker if you're not licensed. I understand you went to school to be a social worker. I get that. But you have to take the exam. Just like doctors take exams, lawyers take exams, nurses take exams. We take it very seriously.
We take exams.
Yeah, we take it very seriously about being called social workers. And social worker is a protected profession, just like counselor, psychiatrist, psychologist. As a matter of fact, social workers are the largest group of mental health professionals that are working in the field. But let me also be careful with you. You cannot get therapy from a bachelor's level social worker. You cannot get therapy from a master's level social worker if they are not licensed. And I am a clinical social worker, which means that's all I do. Clinical means therapy. It means human behavior. And it means everything that from bachelor's to master's.
You can't go to the DHR worker and be like, "Can you be my therapist?" That ain't how that goes. You can't do
that. They're gonna refer you out. That's what they're gonna do.
They don't do that.
Or they're gonna do a home assessment and ask you, "Are you okay?"
Yeah, they could do that. They can do that, but they can give you some resources. They can do that, but they can't do your therapy. I have special licensed clinical social workers that do the therapy and they can do social work, but they have to be special licensed.
They have to be licensed. Social work. There are people that do case management, and I understand that is a hard job, but that is not social work. Social work is a combination of sociology, psychology, criminal justice. We have to learn a lot of things and put in a lot of hours, just like counselors do. We clock a lot of hours being under somebody else in tutelage. So we would call that, what would you call that? Our residency.
Yeah, we have the same tracks. It's just that the counselor track is more concentrated on therapy and therapy modalities and diagnosis, and we're more concentrated there. While social workers, they have like global system. View. Yeah, they have a system of things.
We look at your family systems. We look at your environment. We look at the person as a whole. So person and environment is how we look at things. But we learn similar to what we learn what psychiatrists, psychologists do. We do that. Yeah.
Yep.
Yes, I don't live in Jefferson County, but I service Jefferson County. Yellowbird services Jefferson County.
We service the entire state of Alabama, in fact.
The entire state. So Yellowbird does, and so does Compass Rose.
Yup. And Idaho.
Oh, yes, but people in Idaho.
People in Idaho, I feel like the starch. What I say
about
the starch? I don't know. It may stress them out.
Yeah. To hold your hand and check me before I make impulsive choices. That sound like a good time. I'm sorry. Okay.
That's a therapist for you.
I'm a very unorthodox therapist. I've held therapy in the middle of traffic before. It was interesting. We sat in the turning lane.
Happens.
Yep.
You know what I'm saying?
to
I'm
order
super
mine.
orthodox.
Will save you. Yeah, you have to shop around sometimes for your medications.
Yep.
I wanted to make sure that everybody knew about 988, which is the
Mhm.
National Suicide Hotline number. You can text it and you can call it to talk to a therapist or a counselor or a social worker 24 hours a day. When we're not able to get you in as a client. Please use that number if you need it. Please use 911 if you need it. Please go to your nearest ED, emergency department. Yeah.
I'm thinking about doing some in-house crisis stuff, but I'm trying to, see about it.
Crisis counseling. It's awesome.
Trying to see about it or whatever. But yeah. So cool. You got anything else? We kept you so long. Oh my God.
No,
Y'all.
it's okay. It is okay.
I don't want to keep you too long.
I told you about 988. ADA has a talk line. It's 1-800-514-0301. And they do have TTY if you need it.
TTY.
Yeah. That's that Americans with Disabilities Act information line. So if you think that they are your job is tripping and they're not doing you right, and you have a question, you can call them and ask them a question and get your question answered to make sure that you're being accommodated and serviced correctly. There's a PTSD Foundation. Their number is 877-717-7873.
Oh, wow. She memorized it.
I'm a social worker. I also want to tell you about the Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, SAMHSA.
Yep.
800-622-4357.
And if you make a session, she can give you all these.
I can give you all that.
Yep.
I will service you either at Compass Rose or I will service you at Yellowbird.
Either way, whichever.
Yep. Absolutely.
So,
let me see.
So thank you so much for coming on and giving us all your knowledge and closing out Social Worker Disability Awareness Month with us here.
Yeah,
we appreciate it.
Yeah. Are there any other questions that I can answer about PTSD, disabilities, what ADA does?
And if you know, you know. And that's all I'm going to say. If you know, you know. And y'all can ask your questions while I get prepared for the $100 Cash App giveaway.
Here it is. Oh, yay. Can I be in it? So, I want to know, could I be in it? Tell me. I wanted to give the number to Compass Rose again. It's 205-246-0671. If you would like to talk to me individually and use Compass Rose Behavioral Health, I would love to hear from you.
Yeah.
So you got to give away some money. Can I get in? What I got to do?
Nah. I already gave y'all some contests at the job. We got our job contest at the job.
I may not meet that quota, but that's all right.
You might meet it at the job. All right, I'm gonna do it. It's the $100. Remember, the share got to be public in order for it to count. So I'm gonna say your name and your number twice. So have your ears ready to hear your name and your number. Okay, have them ready now. All right, so Amaris Samuel is number 1. Amaris Samuel is number 1. Magnolia Sunshine Merchant is number 2. Magnolia Sunshine Merchant is number 2. Toya Betts is number 3. Toya Betts is number 3. I skipped over one. Malika Cole is number 4. Malika Cole is number 4. Kristen Davis is number 5. Kristen Davis is number 5. Tanea Keller is number 6. Tanea Keller is number 6. Danielle Robinson is number 7. Danielle Robinson is number 7. Oh, hey, sorors. Shari, what's up? K Candles is number 8. K Candles is number 8. Soror Candace Keller is number 9. Soror Candace Keller number 9. Oh man, how do I say your name? Chartrice Jackson. Did I say it right? Please tell me I said it right. Chartrice Jackson is number 10. Chartrice. That's what I think it is. Number 10.
She said yes.
Okay, good. Thank you. Whew. I hate messing people's names up. It's like a fear of mine. Triple OG is number 11. Triple OG is number 11. Alexis Carl is number 12. Alexis Carl is number 12. Nikki Leilani is number 13. Nikki Leilani is number 13. Chloe Love is number 14. Chloe Love is number 14.
How does this work? Are you giving $1,400 away?
Nah. We're not there yet. Not quite yet.
I was just about to say.
No. Y'all was really interacting. Yeah. Antoinette Danielle is number 15. Antoinette Danielle is number 15. Okay, that's everybody. That's all. I didn't miss nobody, did I? If I didn't say your name and you did all the things, you better tell me now or forever hold your peace. Because that's going to be that. Oh, yeah, I knew I forgot you. So you're number 16, Punky Brewster. I was like, that's what made me say it. Because I was like, Punky Brewster?
I like that name.
Yeah, my mom used to call me that when I was a kid. I was like, okay. She's like, hey, Punky Brewster. I'm like, okay. Yeah. So 16. Punky Brewster is 16. All right, cool. And Punky Brewster, you need to pull up. That's not everything I love. Pull up.
That means man.
Yeah, that is. That's what she said. She also called me Blondie. I had significantly lower blonde hair than I do now. Pull up, Punky Brewster. Yeah.
I did the thing. Chloe Love said, I did the thing. My account has been hacked.
What thing? I haven't even done nothing.
Oh, all I want you to do is go to my website or Facebook and like and share. That's what I want you to do.
Yeah. Oh, no. You shouldn't have did nothing that hacked it.
I shared.
How can they hack your account from sharing? How do they do
Oh,
that?
that didn't happen. Oh my gosh, I'm so sorry.
Did you share it? Like, did somebody? I don't know how that could happen. I'm not sure how that could happen. No, it didn't hack. It didn't hack.
Okay.
Okay. Okay, good. All right, cool. I was like, how does that happen? Okay, so now the next thing is this. Oh, my account was hacked not from this. Oh, okay. I got you. I get what you're saying now. No, you're good. I get what you're saying. Oh, yeah, that's what she said. Okay, all right, cool. That's fine. Thank you. That's okay.
It's not
Yeah.
public.
Huh?
It's not public.
Yeah, she can't make it public because her account was hacked. That's what she was saying. Okay. So all right. So now I'm gonna let's do it, to it, boo it. All right. We're gonna do the number generator wheel. Let's see who won.
That sounds like fun.
Yep. The number generator wheel. And I had to show them from the beginning so they know I don't play favorites. Number generator wheel. Okay.
Sounds good.
So they could actually see me pull it all up so they know I didn't just.
So you got that Yahoo thing too. I thought it was just me.
No, I thought it was just me too. I'm glad you have it. I was like, why does it say Yahoo? What is that about? Okay, we're not going to use this one. It looks kind of complicated. And it's saying something about logging in.
If you go down, you should get some more stuff because that's what I've been doing, like scrolling down a little bit.
Yeah, I've had to scroll down. Okay, here we go. 1. So the minimum, of course, is 1. So that's 1. And then this one is, the maximum is 15. So let's spin and see who got it. All right, let's spin. All right. Hold on. Let's go. All right, y'all ready? Oh my gosh. Okay, let's see.
I can't see it.
Oh, you can't? Dang.
Oh, there it is.
Literally number 15. Wow.
Congratulations.
Who was it?
Who was number 15?
Who was it? It was before Punky Brewster. Whoever I said before Punky Brewster. They got to say it. Antoinette. But Antoinette has to be here. Let's see if Antoinette.
Punky was 15, right?
Punky was 16. Punky said Punky has won. Antoinette, did you bring any friends? And are they here?
I don't know why it's skipping, Malika. Maybe we just have a lot of things open.
Koya Betts, me.
Yeah, she said only 1 through 15.
You only did 1 through. Oh man, dang.
You should have put 16 there.
Okay. All right. How do I fix this? Sorry, y'all. Okay. All right, let's try it again. I got to do it again, guys, because I didn't include everybody. No, I got to include everyone, or let me think of it. Okay, so what I can do is split the 100 in half, but give her still the extra for the friend. Does that sound fair? To split it in half with her and another roll with all 15 people on it. 16 people on it. Is that fair? Or should I do another complete spin? I'm gonna let only Antoinette and Punky Brewster say it because they're the two that are impacted. by it.
Monkey said, I vote it goes to her.
Internet, where's your vote? And we'll do that, whatever y'all say. Give me her.
He said, yes, split.
Okay, so let's just split it. We're going to split it. Okay, we got to give it to Internet, and then we got to split it. I don't know. Shoot, what do you think we should do? I don't even know. I just screwed up.
Yeah, Antoinette says to split. Punky says, no, just give it to Antoinette. Look at you all. You all are being so giving.
They are kind. They are real kind, and they don't make it no easier for me to make a decision because they're just. Danielle said, listen, spin again.
Yeah, Punky said I already won before. Give it to her.
Okay. All right. Yes, Punky has won, and Punky won a pretty sizable 250. You won 250 one time, didn't you?
She says, flip a coin.
All right, Internet, we're going to give it to you. Everybody else was included, so it was really just Punky that would have been affected. Yeah, Internet's never won. So, okay. And yes, Punky Brewster won 250 before when I did a special one. Oh, yeah. Okay, Internet. Let's send you your money then.
What's your cash app, girl?
She put it in there. I got and I do the cash app now so they don't think I'm capping and be like, she don't really be sending that money. Whatever. Yes, I do.
Then you got to tell everybody that you did.
Yep, and you got to tell everybody that you got it. Let's see.
And while y'all are waiting, if you're waiting, I would like for you to go to Compass Rose Behavioral Health LLC on Facebook and like it. And I will do a drawing myself.
Ooh, see?
Like me on Facebook. Like
y'all getting all the winnings.
Mm-hmm. And I will do one. It's not my picture. It's a symbol.
It's a symbol of life. Okay.
So it's not my face.
I gotta make sure I send it to the right person because y'all know that one time I sent it to the wrong person. Then they accepted the money. They then blocked me.
Oh God.
They took my money and ran.
What's the page name? It is Compass Rose Behavioral Health LLC on Facebook.
Yellowbird Counseling.
I love your logo too. It's awesome.
Yellowbird. I gotta put congratulations from Yellowbird Counseling. Okay, cool.
It looks like that.
Yay! All right.
All right, Toy Antoinette. Let us know that you got your.
Yep. Definitely tell us. I sent it.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Compass Rose.
Yes, Magnolia. Oh, Magnolia Sunshine. Hey, girl, I like that.
Isn't that a nice name?
It is. I like that.
So, yeah. So, congratulations.
Congratulations.
You say, yes, I got it. Thank you. Yay! You are most welcome, and we're glad we were able to figure that out because I was like, I already messed up. I told them in the community because I was supposed to do the giveaway last week, and I had forgot because me and Lindsay was feeling sick.
What y'all do?
Well, she had a migraine, and I had forgotten to take my Lexapro for a couple of days, so I was actually probably going through withdrawal.
Probably. You were having brain zaps? Oh no.
I felt like I was gonna pass out on the camera and everybody was gonna be worried I was gonna float over.
Why did my phone ring, ma'am? You gotta call somebody. Put the back signal in the sky. Put the back signal in the sky so people know.
I know. Okay, well, y'all, guess what? She coming back next week, y'all.
It looks like this.
She coming back next week with another social worker, Jakia, to talk about more autism awareness. So definitely come on back.
Autism awareness.
Come on back next week and we'll see you then. But thank you so much, Dr. Soror, Nicole Brown, Quangela.
Quadrilin.
Mm-hmm. Dr. Quadrilin.
That's why I just said Dr. Quaj. KWH.
Ooh, I like Dr. Quaj. That's what Tish was like, Dr. K. I was like, who is that? You mean Dr. Nicole?
Yeah.
And then she was right. She's like, oh man, I was calling that lady. She was responding to it. I was like, she's probably just being nice. And I was like, oh.
K? No, I'll accept K because not many people can say Kwajalein.
I can't. Kwajalein.
Yes. It is an island in New Zealand, and they test nuclear bombs there. They used to anyway.
Oh wow.
Yeah, my dad was stationed there.
Oh wow. Kwajalein.
I'm glad it went somewhere else. Very
Cool.
glad. Yeah.
All right, y'all. Well, y'all have a good evening, and we'll see Dr. Kwajalein Nicole Brown Soror next week here.
Dr. Quaj is fine. Dr. Quaj is just fine.
Y'all have a good one. Bye.
See you later.
See you later. See you later.